for this call, so we'd have one more option. That's and see, because since there wasn't that much engagement in like creating options, just get it done. And then the other thing this week, I'll probably push just finalizing the distro. I hope to have some time to chat with you, Hannah, to like really finalize all the numbers and then push things out. Yeah, and that's mostly what I'm about. And I'll pass it to Frashad.
Hi everyone, so I'm feeling excited for the week and my focus is to make sure everyone gets paid. And also my priority for the governance call today is updates on the work agreement and also discuss the buddy system that Lauren raised in the forum. And I'll pass it to Donna.
Hi everyone, I'm feeling great, and my intentions for this call is to just close the vesting params voting, and also my work agreement. It's been there for like 10 days, and my intentions for this week is to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and I've just got feedback from Mitch that our agent works fine, so we can use the agent Griff. And yeah, that's it. And also I want to jump in to test other dApps. So I pass it on to Amin.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm good. I'm trying to learn more about the ERC 721, the non-fungible stuff that allows us to stake on Uniswap version 3 and stake it. I'm studying about it. It's cool. And I'm eager to attend a call which Griff will schedule with some expert in this field. And yeah, other than nothing to add, I pass it to Mitch.
Hey, Amin. Thanks. I'm feeling excited. My focus for this week is to keep testing the dApps and help flesh out some more issues around project statuses. And my focus for this call would be to settle the development steward debate. And I will pass it to Kai.
Hey guys, I'm on the road. I will be I will be passive. I just wanted to listen in and get updated. If there is, I will be traveling the whole week, but if there is anything anybody needs, please ping me for that. Otherwise, I have no special. I don't know who still has to go. I might also drop off, so sorry for that in advance, but I wanted to come at least. Who still has to go?
Ashley?
And me.
Oh, Mia.
I can also go. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good day. I'm doing amazing. I'm loving being in Guatemala and just having a whole new environment. My focus for the week is to get super comfortable with all the onboarding processes and things, as I'm going to be meeting up with some projects that are interesting to me and to see if they would be interested in joining Giveth.
In this work. Of course, taking care of the less fortunate in society. I'm zooming through because I don't have much time. Something that's interesting, though, is that open source software.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm feeling okay this morning, feeling very frustrated. I'm currently locked out of my computer. So that has been since Friday, and I'm trying to figure out how to get back in. So yeah, frustrated. My intentions for the call is just to kind of sync up, see what's going on, look at some of the proposals in the forum, and yeah, focus for the week is to get back into my computer so I can do stuff. So I think that Heather, have you gone?
Nope, I haven't. Let's see. My intention is just to understand more about the Giveth community and shared governance. As I'll be doing more hiring for the team, so I want to understand the community and the culture better. So, and my intentions for the week is I have a lot of positions that need to be filled, so I need to stay focused. And I'm also doing my check-ins with different people throughout the organizations. And who else still needs to go? Glee Royale. That beat.
Thanks.
Monique.
I think Monique, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I really feel good. My intention for this week is just plan everything to have a good launch for both dApps and Give Economy all together the mid of next month. And I'm here to think with you more about the governance. Pass it to Mohammed. Have you gone?
Thanks, Mike. Hey everyone, I'm feeling good. For this week, I want to focus on the creating donations in the Giveth.io and tune something in give back calculation for our donors. And I want to sync with others. I would pass it to everyone's gone.
Amin?
Yeah, I pass it to Amin. No, Amin has gone already.
Yeah, I went.
Mateo? Do we hear from Mateo?
Yeah, I think I'm the last one. Hey everyone, happy Monday. So many interesting topics to follow up in this call. I want to listen about the vesting, the body system, and the debate about the platform steward also. For this week, as Moni said, maybe we should focus on the development. There is some exciting topics regarding Transact integration that Willie brought up yesterday, and he showed me the API keys. I think Mohammed made an amazing workflow, and that's really cool to work this week. So looking forward to that, and happy to sync up with every one of you. Pass it back to you, Danny. I think she froze. Is Annie there?
Danny?
Me or you, Mateo? That was really choppy. The first thing I think we wanted to dive into is
That's you. That's really choppy, Danny.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to try switching networks. There's a bunch here. If you want to dive into that vesting issue, I'll be right back.
You want to take it, Griff?
Sorry, I was making a smoothie, but I can definitely take it. Let's get this show on the road. First off, let's dive into the vesting. There's a vote. I think that's all that needs to be said. The vote is up. Go to the vesting thing and state your preference. There's 3 options, and there's a spreadsheet there that you can click that will show you what the 3 options look like. If you don't have access to that spreadsheet, please DM me. I can give you access to that spreadsheet so you can see what the 3 options look like. If you feel like, wait, I had a 4th option, fine, like say it now, and we'll add it. But you've had a week, so what the hell? No, I'm just kidding. Does anyone have a 4th option that they want to add to the vesting? Okay, cool. I'll leave it at that. So then let's. Does anyone have any comments or any suggestions that they have on this? Then we're moving on. Governance circle steward responsibilities. This is a great topic. Does anyone want to take it on? Or I can lead it if no one steps up.
I was trying to figure this out. I think we had the same discussion maybe like a few months ago. And, we never really nailed it down. And we said, well, each working group gets to decide what the steward's responsibilities are. I remember that was the response when I tried to ask pointedly. And I don't know, because each circle has like different scope, I would say that communications has a way bigger scope than the governance working group. So, it's hard to clearly define like a standard set of responsibilities that's going to be for everyone.
Yeah, this item is specifically for governance. So that response that you said, Mitch, where each circle is going to decide that, maybe we don't need to do that in this call, but we need to define between the like Hannah and yourself, Mitch, and me and Griff, what are the key pieces within governance that each of us are responsible for. But maybe that's a separate working group conversation to hack it out. I just wanted to bring it up here that we said we would do that for each circle, and this is the governance circle.
Nice. Okay. Well, maybe we leave it to the end. If we cruise through the other agenda topics, then we'll have space and we just do that, kick that out right away.
Cool.
Reward DAO. Danny, I feel like this one's yours.
Yeah, I'm just the person who was saying, hey, there's actually an issue in GitHub to close the reward DAO from months and months and months ago. And I was just looking for that when I put this on the agenda. I didn't find it yet. But that's why I put the forum post up there. I'm fine to reallocate reward DAO and use it to pay regular rewards this next month. I just wanted that to be a conscious decision that we're actually doing that rather than it being... Yeah. So I just posted in the forum that I'm fine with it.
At all.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I can't hear anything, so maybe.
I think that's fine.
Okay, so I think I was the objector, and I'm saying I am fine changing my vote now that we've talked about it, and that's where we're at, and we're so close to switching to the other way. So if the decision's to close Reward DAO and create a new contributor reward system, I will vote for that, and we can do it for the next month's payout.
Cool.
Before we close this one, do we know what the new system is going to be?
I think that's a responsibility within the governance working group to decide.
Pass the buck.
I'm happy to take it on. That's a responsibility. I'd love to work on how to reward contributors outside of regular rewards.
I feel like it's like source credit is kind of that path, right? Source credit and praise.
It is. There's just one more gap in there, like specific tasks that people take on, and Mia's the example of that. I don't think source cred or praise adequately values the contributions Mia's made over the last few months. So I had her make a trace on the reward DAO. So that's an example of a gap.
Mm-hmm. So then effectively we could just use Argive in a way to allocate some of that? Maybe. That's what I would say is like I use Argive to fund bounties and the middle gap. It'll have a bunch of give tokens in it, and we can, if we want to do a separate, like we could even just have it fund Argive on Giveth, right? Or sorry,
Yeah.
have it fund reward on Giveth.
Sure, I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Well, cool. But at least that's so that issue's moving. So that's cool. Work agreements.
Yeah, I just wanted to check in with everyone and see how they're feeling about their work agreements. There's a bunch up there. I haven't seen a lot of comments on them.
Well, maybe do we what do we need for the work agreements to be complete? Like, were we saying there were so many hearts, or was there they need to be up there for 5 days and then have so many hearts and then we move it to Argive? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. I know Donna's has been up there for longer than that, and I think it has enough hearts, but maybe we need to jump in there and give those hearts so they can move over.
But I think the problem here with the hearts only is that people just post comments and also like it. So I don't know whether we should apply the comments and then we should give updates and then get like likes, or it's a bit confusing. You know what I mean?
I think like waiting to get hearts on these things is a really arbitrary metric. Like it seems really weird that our whole process is blocked by not liking something enough.
Yeah. What if the person, like, after getting some comments and some feedback, then like once again posts it in the governance channel or something like that, tags Unicorn and is like, unless there's any objections by tomorrow, I'm going to put this on Argive.
Then it's not blocked.
For Shapeshift's process, what we were using ideation before, but there's a bug right now. We actually broke this whole feature on Boardroom because we used it too much, and it was an early feature. So now we're going back to our forum, and what we do is we have this phase before it goes up for governance. It's called ideation, and we're requiring now that you include a Discord poll a discourse poll in your post, and the only requirement is that it has to be there for 5 days, and then have more upvotes and downvotes. So it's just a way to get signal before you go for governance and opportunity to get feedback before you go up for governance. But I see right now we only have the upvote option. So it could be nice. It's still anonymous voting, but it could be nice to have just that poll in there. Unfortunately, we've already been in there for a bunch of days, so it might be a little too late for this one. I'm not saying we necessarily have to go back and do it over again, but something to think about for our governance process if we are going to have this like mandatory advice process phase in the forum.
Yeah, I love that idea. I mean, what I heard from you, Will, I know we don't have downvotes, and Mitch with the arbitrary piece of it, putting a poll up to say this is complete and have everybody say, yes, I approve this work agreement could be a really easy way to move it over.
Yeah, you could just make a poll that just says looks good, and then yes or no, like a 2-option poll.
Mm-hmm. So does everyone feel good with that? Like with your work agreement, once you've been up there for 5 days, to add a poll to it to get the approvals for Argive to go to the DAO?
And I think it's a good process going forward at this point. I'm not sure if we need to go back. So if you guys want to, that's fine. But also at this, they all have pretty significant hearts. I think we could even do the math, and it's probably unlikely that anyone's going to get more downvotes than upvotes at this point. So I would also be fine just moving these to governance, just for expedience. But
Okay, and
up to the working group. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're asking each person to put their own work agreement on OneHive for the voting by the RDAO, right? Is there anybody who has a concern with that?
I think it's a good idea. Then everyone can try it too.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I feel pretty complete on this topic. Anything else?
I mean, the big problem is that the stuff isn't working on XTI right now. What I would say is the DAOs are going to cause more frustration this week than is probably deserved. So maybe we just plan on accumulating these for 1 week. And if you want to try to put it on RGive, you can, but it's just like, it's a little tricky to get it to work. It can work if there was an emergency thing, but it might be like if we tried to put something up for a vote, a bunch of people might not be able to vote, or it would be like there would be technical hurdles to vote. So maybe we just like wait for the RGive stuff until OneHive fixes all the DAOs.
That's an interesting thing I was just realizing. So we've talked about launching the new one with some changes to parameters, but we're obviously not going to do that until the issues there are resolved. But accepting that these having enough hearts in the forum is good enough for now, and then maybe allowing these to be the first things we do to vote on in the new DAO so that everybody gets to use it in that way could be a good way to go forward.
Cool. Does anyone else have anything on the topic of work agreements?
I'm gonna just say some reminders. So I think most already posted in the Giveth forum, and Monique and Ramin just recently posted theirs, and the remaining ones who need to finalize their work agreements and post in Giveth forum are Danny, Bowen, and Charik. So that's the update.
I also need to do it.
I'll just say that I'm having a really hard time with this, and I'll check in with my buddies around it outside of this call. Kind of feel like I gave all my jobs away. What do I do for you guys besides facilitate this call? I know I'm important, but I'd like to actually probably get some support mapping that out. I'm having a challenge.
I'm not gonna do one. I have to read up on the how it came together. But I didn't want to go into this now. But I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to fulfill my parenting duties. Fortunately, unfortunately, it does not stop. And I feel like just the very quick of it is I don't feel like the role that I had up there with my prior agreement is crazy valid because people stepped up and took some away of it, which is cool. And so I just wanted to say I will probably transition to be more like Willy, if that's okay. Be here and there, be of course in the DAO and be active with our community. But I won't go the full length of making another role again and step down from the regular payments, of course. Well, but I mean, we can. I will do this another day. I just wanted to say that's why I don't. So don't wait for one from me. People like us don't have to do any. Do we have to do one, Willy? Otherwise, I will.
That's a good question. If you're not asking for payment, I don't think it's necessary, is my 2 cents, but happy to do it if you guys would like me to. But I think, I kind of like keeping the barrier low for people who aren't asking for payment. Just come sprinkle some Kai love magic whenever you can, and we'll be appreciative for it. Maybe you'll even get some pan rewards.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's a good barrier. If you're not asking for payment, then do whatever you want. Anything else on this for Shell?
Good to see you, by the way,
Sorry,
Kai.
go ahead, Willie.
I was just saying, good to see you, Kai. Welcome back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else on my end about this topic.
Cool. Well, sort of sad news, Kai, but I know you'll be around, so it's not really that sad. Yeah, it's good to see you back, man. And then
basically nothing changes from what is today.
And then we have the next topic is buddies, standardizing questions for compiling feedback. Who put this one on the agenda?
Because I saw it as a new forum post and wanted to also keep that process moving. I think it's a great idea that Lauren posted there to have a couple, to just choose a set of questions that buddies can use to check in with their buddies on a regular basis, so that we can both compile feedback, but also develop our process better and be able to not only support individuals in their roles, but also be able to take a look at how can we improve the roles and things going forward. So I just thought that was a great idea, and I would love to help do that. And it flows into sort of having good governance procedures for how we give good feedback to individuals and also improve our roles going forward. So I don't know if anybody check-ins that they want to give any feedback about so far. Cool. I've checked in with Bowen a bit and with Hannah a bit, but nothing standardized, so I'd love to get that going.
I checked with the work agreements of everyone before, so mostly the scheduled performance review is last month, September, and also this month, October. So perhaps before they will proceed to talking with their buddies, maybe we can establish first this standardized questions and send it to everyone before they meet with their buddies.
Yeah, maybe just so you guys know, like when I do a lot of these reviews, and generally this is like two basic questions, like how can you do better and how can the organization support you better, and how can the organization do better in itself, and just leaving space for those questions, and that's my main shtick. So.
Also, Monique put some comments in one of the work in the role proposals about do we have any criteria for who can be the body of other one? Monique, do you want to elaborate more on it?
In matter of the fact, it's a little bit confusing for me that we have a swords, and we talked about the swords, that the swords, kind of it's not just a communication role. It has to be lead the whole working group. And we have a buddy system, buddy system, what do you call it? And we have buddy, and the responsibility of a buddy is to review and give us feedback. I don't know, is it called performance check or whatever? For example, Griff, it's my honor that Griff, say Monique, please be my buddy, and it's very good for me that I have his feedback but I'm eligible enough to, for example, kind of review or I can give feedback, and I definitely know it that everyone can have, for example, select the buddy to have better feedback for the future of his work and the better job performance. But it's a little confusing for me. For example, I can select somebody that can't measure my performance or can't even give me a feedback, good feedback for it. And I think I just want to get more discussion about it. That is it a system that we just can select people and let it go, or can we have it more sync with the stewards, or what is it?
I think it's just to jive off this. I think it's up to each person. In the end, the best person to give the review is the person themselves. Like no one knows their work better than they do, and so I see these these buddy reviews. I don't see they're performance reviews, but they're really facilitated by the buddy and led by the person who's reviewing themselves and reviewing also the org. So I think that there's like this normal management style where there's a manager who is like an agent of the organization who's telling someone what to do, right? And that's one way to structure an organization. And if you have, and maybe that's a great way to structure an organization, but it's not how we're structured necessarily. We're more structured in a flat hierarchy. At least that's the ideal. Now we need working group stewards, and because we need point people, just as like shelling points for information, right? We need someone to be like, hey, I want to like participate in development. Who do I talk to? Oh, you talk to the development steward, right? And they're the point of contact for that working group, so that it's not just like, so that there's always one person in the know of what's happening, right? And that's a role. It's an important role for communicating with the external world, but it's not a management role necessarily. It's not saying, oh, I control what happens in this group. You're a shelling point, you're influential, but you're not like, this is how it's happening, right? And so for the performance reviews,
I think they have the responsibility, and they might, because they, have to prove that they're on their way on their budget, for example. So they have to take the responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I might be exaggerating on the flatness, for sure. But still, that's the ideal. But then you as an individual person, right? Like, how do we advance as individuals in this community? Well, we need to be able to have feedback rounds and feedback loops just to improve our own work, and also to give feedback on the organization. Unlike most performance reviews, it's like, hey, you're doing good. There's a group of people at the top that decide what the organization is trying to do. And it's like, how are you, performing under this guideline? Whereas here we're saying, hey, we as an org, we get to decide collectively what the organization is doing and if we're going in the right direction. And we do our best to kind of manage this information. Well, as a buddy, how do we as an org get feedback on the direction we're going from every individual? And so it's not only a performance review of the individual, it's also an individual performance review of the org, and being able to take that information back is something that I think is really important. And this blog post or this forum post, is part of. It's like, how do we make sure that this individual who tells their buddy, yeah, guess what, Giveth is doing really well in like making donations, but we really need to have NFTs. It's very critical, How does that filter up into something productive? Or we're going in the wrong direction over here. How do we filter that up? That information also out of the buddy system is really interesting to me. So we need to make sure that the person is getting feedback from the org, and like the buddy, I feel like can do their best. And I really think anyone can be someone's buddy as long as they're facilitating the person and the person feels comfortable that they can really say, you know what, I could do better. I'm not doing this very well. I'm not doing that very well. And like, then the buddy can kind of be like, well, let me help you, hold you accountable to doing those things better in the next, few weeks and months. And then the other way is important as well is, I could get more support from Giveth if this was happening. Giveth is going in the wrong direction over here. And then the buddy needs to then be able to take this information and put it somewhere.
That's awesome. It kind of created a little map in my mind around the questions to make sure we have a section that is for feedback for the individual, a feedback around how is the role itself, feedback for the organization. And part of I was just looking at Monique's or somebody's comment around how does a non-technical buddy provide feedback to a technical person. And I'm feeling like in the feedback section for an individual in their role and around their role in the future, we may want to implement some sort of 360 or peer feedback that the buddy could help the individual get feedback from their peers, especially technical folks, to gather that information for themselves and their roles as well. And then having quarterly sessions to review these feedbacks. And I think this is why it's really important to standardize some of those questions, because we'll want to see that if there's consistent feedback appearing over time or across multiple people about the organization. So there's a lot of opportunity for us. I think data collection, which is why I want to standardize, but also this is great to see that we want to have 3 different areas for the person, for the job, and for the org. Cool. Okay, we've got like 20 minutes left for our hour here. I know vesting was something important on the agenda that we want to leave some time for. Do we feel complete on this one? And is there any other topics besides vesting that people really want to get into this hour?
I don't know if we need to speak about vesting at all. Is there anyone who wants to speak about that? I think the other one was the governance roles and positions or responsibilities between the 4 of us was one of the things that we were leaving for the end of the call.
Okay.
Actually, I just want to steal the show for a second there and go to this forum poll that's been up for quite a while, I think since last week, for the Giveth Development Steward. And so looking at the votes, we seem to have a winner, and that would be Amin. If I can find the vote here. So yeah, 14 people voted. Amin came out on top, and so I would like to, without any objections, pass that on and give it to Amin, and if he's willing to take it, then we can call him the steward and put this one to bed.
Thank you, Mitch. I insisted Monique accepts such a role because he's product manager and he will be official of the interface to the outside, the development. He will manage what should be implemented, how the resources can be allocated to the priorities.
I love this.
Again, I offered that again sincerely to Monique, and I would love to. He accepts such important role.
Do you accept your nomination or do you not? We need to know.
If Monique accepts,
everyone voted for you, so you have to say yes or no.
Well, the thing is, though, it's 50%. It's 50% on Amin and then 50% on Mateo and Monique. So it's also like, it's not a majority ruling. So I think...
No, it's a minority.
Amin's point is not totally moot and is also hilarious.
I don't know. It's how responsibility, and knowing what's happening in every project is it will be difficult, and probably I would need Monique all the time around myself to answer such questions. But about development, of course, yeah, I see myself eligible for onboarding new contributors. By the way, thank you. Yeah, I accepted. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll help
I'm
you.
so confused.
Yeah, I accepted, but I guess it's something that should be done in the pair with money.
Okay. I just want to make this super clear. Like, do we have any hard objections to this? Do we need to go back? Or is this the solution?
I mean,
it's a little bit worried about the communication.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I think he's a little bit worried about the communication. Lots of meetings maybe because he might get not focus on his main role. But I'm here to help. I promise we can do it. I insist to be the steward because after we go to the DAO and we have to get the budgets. I think for have the more insight on how's the project. It takes resources and how we can allocate it, and how we maybe perform better during the time. And because of that, I'm not really a fan of the steward, as you know. I'm not really a fan of the working group, and I told you because several times in the past meetings that we have. But in this situation, the whole community insists that we have to have a steward. But in this situation, I suggest Amin take it. But in the long run, I think it doesn't need to title somebody to have this. Automatically everything smoothly goes around. But we're here to help. Don't worry, can't take it.
Thank you.
You guys are perfect. Look at that. Each of you wants the other person to take the job.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have any benefits.
At least we can call this issue done, I think. Hopefully. Okay. That's all I had to speak for that. I don't know if we want to move it along to the last topic, Griff or Danny.
Yeah, I'm game. I think it's a good conversation to transition to, as Amin and Monique are just agreeing on how to support each other in their stewardship role. Our conversation around how to distribute responsibilities within the governance working groups and circle will help everyone else.
Yeah, take it, Danny. It seems like your internet's much better. You can take the lead here.
Well, so as I understand it, we have our governance circle. I think Griff is the circle steward there, and then we have 2 working groups, and Mitch and Danny are splitting at this time one of those working groups, and thinking about what are the different responsibilities that we have within governance. We could make a list of those and take a look at what they are. One of the big ones that's on my mind right now is that we're going to be creating a new DAO, our beta version of the One Hive Give, which is pretty important. So leading that is a big responsibility that somebody should be in charge of. One of the things that came up for me when I was thinking about this that I just want to share as a reflection, we I was recently nominated and accepted a president role. And one of the questions that was asked of me is, what do I think the responsibilities are of the president of a sociocratic organization? And it's to be the person who actually executes on behalf of the group once the group has made a decision. So that's one of the things I thought was important to reflect to us here, that the responsibility of the steward in most of these cases, to me, is making sure that the voices of everybody in the group are being surfaced and that a healthy decision is made. And then once that's done, to be able to represent that decision back to the rest of the organization. So one of the responsibilities that I think of also, so there's running the DAO, but then there's also being the person who makes sure that before a decision goes to the DAO, that everybody's had a chance to speak on it and that it accurately reflects the position of the whole group before bringing it up. And then the other responsibilities that, we can look at our work agreements as an example. So I don't see Hannah on the call here today, but Hannah has a lot of the responsibilities around making sure that the numbers that we use, the things that we're producing from SourceCred and from Praise, are accurately feeding our system of rewarding contributors. And then Frishelle has some responsibilities as well around the work agreement process. So there's a variety of different responsibilities that can be divvied out. And I think probably the first step is to compile what those are out of each other's work groups and see what gaps are missing and what else we need to assign.
That sounds like a good task. I mean, maybe do we want to just have some kind of hack sesh, me, you, and Mitch and Hannah, just to make sure that we have it all there, and maybe we can just come out of that hack sesh with like, this is what the governance working group has to accomplish, and these are the people who are going to do it.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Well, the nice thing is I think we're all on relatively easy time zones.
Yeah. The same. Soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So then maybe we can just schedule that. I mean, I can do today. I can do tomorrow in the evenings, in the afternoons.
Can we do tomorrow afternoon? I need to finish my day with my mom here and then I'm free.
Okay.
I'll probably be out until Thursday, maybe Friday.
Traveling?
Yep.
Cool. So like tomorrow wouldn't work for you, Mitch? No.
Mitch,
I could try
you're
from the
saying you're not
airport.
available tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, then
Actually, no, it'll be fine.
Well,
it'll be fine tomorrow.
I'm willing to give the hour then today.
No, let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah?
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, we don't need to take up everyone's time with this, but tomorrow will be fine.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, then let's let everyone go, and we'll pick an exact time after we let everyone be free.
Amazing. Anybody have any final comments for today's call, or want to champion any forum posts to get more comments on?
I made a trace to buy more party games. So if you guys love party games, fund my trace so I can buy more.
Yeah, at least $300 worth collectively so that we can actually get it up.
I know. I felt bad. I'm like, that's way too much, but that's the minimum. I don't know. What I'm supposed to do.
All right, everyone. Thanks for